Hi everyone, how are you? Warning, this is about child abuse, child sexual abuse in the UK within religions. Now you see the heading there from the Telegraph. The Telegraph's a UK broadsheet newspaper. Child sex abuse inquiry widens scope to other religions outside Christianity for first time. But I'm going to go to the Guardian's report on this same subject because they do feature Jehovah's Witnesses in detail. And here's the Guardian report. So they're opening up the investigations to include a lot more religions than had been their original remit. So the opening paragraph, child sexual abuse in a wide range of religious organisations and settings, including Jehovah's Witnesses and Buddhists, is to be scrutinised in an official inquiry. The investigation by the Independent Inquiry into Child Sexual Abuse, IICSA, now that's our sort of Australian Royal Commission, will review child protection and policies in organisations belonging to non-conformist Christian denominations, Baptist, Methodist, Islam, Judaism, Sikhism, and Hinduism. The investigation will also cover religious settings such as mosques, synagogues, churches and temples, places where children are taught about faith, such as Muslim madrasas, sorry if I've said that wrong, and Christian Sunday schools, which will be investigated along with faith-based youth groups and camps. The investigation is separate from the inquiry's ongoing examinations of child protection and abuse in the Anglican and Roman Catholic churches. More than 1 in 10 survivors of child sexual abuse who contacted the inquiry's Truth Project reported sexual abuse in a religious institution. Of those, almost a quarter said they had been abused in religious organisations included in the latest investigation. Last year, several people contacted the Guardian with allegations of child sexual abuse and other mistreatment in Jehovah's Witnesses communities in the UK. As always, I'll put links at the end of this. Click on links and then there'll be links in the description below, which I hope will cover things that people may wish to know. Now, you can watch the IICSA proceedings live on YouTube each day. So just like in the Australian Royal Commission, clips will be available for people to see and ruminate upon. So, going back, they described a culture of cover-ups and lies, with senior members of the organisation, known as elders, discouraging victims from coming forward for fear of bringing reproach on Jehovah and being exiled from the congregation and their families. The Charity Commission is also conducting an investigation into child protection issues in the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society of Britain, the UK's main Jehovah's Witness organisation, which the Commission regulates. Nick French, a survivor of child sexual abuse within the Jehovah's Witnesses, said the investigation was a positive step in looking into the systematic failings of a group who say they abhor child sexual abuse, but in practice silence the victims. John Viney, whose daughter was abused by Jehovah's Witness, said, "We have waited a long time for this. Many former Jehovah's Witnesses have been campaigning for an investigation for years," he added. One of the largest Buddhist organisations in the West, Shambhala International, which has more than 200 meditation centres across the world, included in the UK, last year pledged to take action to tackle sexual abuse by its teachers. Dear, just everywhere. There have also been allegations of abuse in other faith organisations and movements, some of which have led to criminal prosecution. The IICSA was set up in 2015 to investigate institutions that failed to protect children from sexual abuse. It has held several hearings into abuse in the Church of England and Catholic Church. Justin Welby, the Archbishop of Canterbury and leader of the Church of England, and Vincent Nichols, the Archbishop of Westminster and most senior Catholic cleric in England and Wales, have both given evidence in person. Notice this, they've both given evidence in person, apologising for abuse and its cover-up. So what Watchtower calls Babylon the Great are in advance of Watchtower in this matter. Please note. So, the preliminary hearing into religious organisations in July, with public hearings planned for next year. And they are talking about who the key witnesses and evidence givers will be. So perhaps if someone does feel brave enough to tell their story in that public setting. But be careful, be aware of looking after yourself first. You may want to push yourself forward for that, but use caution. So well done to everyone who's written in, everyone who's lobbied to get J-Dubs into this investigation. This isn't persecution, Jehovah's Witnesses. It's not persecution. It is justice and protection. Protection, protection, protection. Okay? You're not being separated. Oh, they're out together. No, you're part of the whole mess. But interesting, the Guardian's been following Jehovah's Witnesses for a while. Now, if you look at the end of this, on your screens, you'll have click on links for some of the IICSA issues that may help you, and look at the links below and make up your own mind. Thank you very much for your time. It's there's just nowhere left to hide for them anymore, is there? There's nowhere left for them to hide. How many countries is that now? It's just growing and growing. And it's not a conspiracy, it is the truth about the truth. Lots of love to all. Take care of yourselves, especially if you're affected by this. Protect yourselves, okay?